Lil Durk has been entangled in legal issues for several years, and while he's currently in custody awaiting trial, a major development in his case has just surfaced, sending shockwaves across the internet.
Wiretaps, recordings, and all that, like, he was in too deep with a J. Reed.
There's been a major shakeup in Lil Durk's case that has the internet buzzing. Leaked audio recordings have surfaced, allegedly tying the rapper to not one, but two murder-for-hire plots, completely flipping the narrative surrounding his legal troubles. This explosive development raises serious questions about Durk's chances of walking free anytime soon. If you've been following the situation, you know it's been wild since Durk was taken into custody back in October 2024. But now, things have escalated. These newly leaked audio recordings, along with court documents, are painting a much darker picture than anyone anticipated. According to official records, prosecutors have compiled a staggering 230 gigabytes of digital evidence against Durk and his co-defendants. We're talking audio tapes, surveillance footage, and over 20,000 pages detailing alleged violent crimes. Sheer volume of evidence is why his trial, initially set for January 7, 2025, was delayed to October 14, 2025. Both the prosecution and defense have acknowledged the case's intense complexity. But what nobody saw coming was the public leak of key evidence. Leaks that have ignited a media frenzy and may influence public opinion long before the trial even begins. So, what's actually in these leaked recordings? Reports from April 2025 claim the most damning pieces involve wiretapped conversations, allegedly capturing Durk, discussing payments linked to the murder-for-hire plots. One video even suggests federal agents planted an informant in a cell with one of Durk's associates, who then recorded incriminating conversations about payments for these alleged plots. Earlier this month, another video surfaced highlighting more wiretap evidence and even an alleged confession from Brick Baby, a figure reportedly tied to Durk's murder-for-hire charges. This case just went from serious to surreal. Stay tuned, because things are only getting deeper.
Recordings and all that, like, he was in too deep with a J. Reed.
These leaked videos are closely aligning with details laid out in official court documents, shedding light on how federal investigators have been building their case against Lil Durk. And perhaps most importantly, they reveal what might be the government's strongest evidence yet: informants and secretly recorded conversations. One of the most significant developments centers around a man identified in court documents as AJ. He was initially arrested for possession of a stolen vehicle, used in a murder, and later incarcerated at Illinois River Correctional Center. According to filings, the FBI placed a confidential informant in AJ's cell, who recorded conversations where AJ allegedly detailed the planning and execution of Stefan Mack's murder, including specific mentions of payments made for the hit. This is especially damaging, as prosecutors claim this murder was retaliation for the 2021 killing of Durk's brother, D. Thang, Dante Banks. The recordings allegedly link Durk directly to the payment for Mack's murder. In those same recordings, another individual named Marley is mentioned more than 10 times by AJ and is described as playing a central role in the homicide. This kind of first-person insider detail is exactly what prosecutors rely on in complex conspiracy cases, and it appears the government has secured multiple pieces of this type of evidence. But it doesn't stop there. According to a CBS Chicago report featured in one of the leaked videos, Mack was gunned down outside the Youth Peace Center of Roseland. The FBI reportedly linked the two men charged in Mack's murder back to Durk, using both text messages and confidential informants. This suggests that the jailhouse recordings are just part of a broader web of audio evidence, including wiretaps and undisclosed informants whose information hasn't even been made public yet. Further adding to the mountain of evidence are a series of text messages allegedly connecting Durk directly to the murder-for-hire plots. These texts reportedly include discussions about payments for the hits, potentially giving prosecutors a direct link between Durk and the criminal conspiracy they're trying to prove. One chilling detail comes from the indictment tied to the Rondo case, where Durk allegedly sent a message saying, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with SICME." A clear attempt, prosecutors argue, to avoid leaving a trail that could tie him to the alleged murder plot. Even more troubling for Durk and his legal team is the indication that the feds may have flipped multiple individuals connected to the case. According to the leaks, AJ's confession was only the beginning. After being jailed in March 2023, the feds approached him, and that initial conversation reportedly gave them enough to build the foundation for a full-blown RICO case. Once AJ cooperated, others started to fold too, providing additional details, naming names, and laying out exactly who was involved and who made the calls. This is no longer just about rumors or speculation. This is a federal case backed by mountains of surveillance, wiretaps, text messages, and now insider confessions. Things are looking incredibly serious for Lil Durk as his October 2025 trial approaches.
It's locked up. I got to host the month. No.
The leaked information surrounding Lil Durk's case continues to unravel, and it paints an increasingly detailed picture of an alleged murder-for-hire conspiracy, one that prosecutors may use to build a powerful case in court. According to the leaks, federal agents now have extensive information, including who was involved in the hit, who traveled for it, who paid for flights and credit cards. All critical details that have reportedly been confirmed through witness testimonies. This points to a domino effect of informants, where one person flipping led to others coming forward, ultimately helping prosecutors construct a comprehensive narrative to present to a jury. One of the most compelling elements of the leaked info is the suggestion that Lil Durk wasn't blindsided by the federal investigation. In fact, some reports claim he already knew AJ, aka Jam, had snitched. Allegedly, Durk even anticipated mass arrests during his birthday concert in Chicago and had planned multiple escape routes. That theory lines up with reports that he was apprehended at Miami International Airport, where it's believed he may have been attempting to flee once he realized charges were imminent. Beyond the evidence directly tying him to the alleged hits, prosecutors appear to be focused on a broader pattern in Durk's behavior. According to court filings, federal investigators claim Durk had a history of putting money on his enemies' heads, specifically those he believed were connected to the murder of his brother, D-Thang. The alleged targets included members of the Gangster Disciples, particularly individuals associated with the Smashville faction. If proven, this pattern could establish both motive and a modus operandi, strengthening the government's argument that the murder-for-hire plots weren't isolated acts, but part of a broader campaign of retaliation. The impact of all this leaked. Information has rippled far beyond the courtroom. In the hip-hop community and across social media, especially platforms like Reddit, fans are reacting with a mix of shock, disappointment, and skepticism. Some longtime supporters who believed Durk had turned a new leaf and was promoting peace now feel betrayed. One user even expressed heartbreak, saying they believed he had left the street life behind after the death of King Von in 2020, only to now be caught up in another violent cycle. Still, others remain cautious, arguing that without official confirmation from the courts or Durk's legal team, it's hard to assess the authenticity or context of the leaked recordings. There are concerns the audio could be manipulated or misleading, and many believe Durk deserves the full presumption of innocence until proven guilty. Durk's attorney, Drew Findling, has yet to address the leaked audio directly. However, he has. consistently maintained Durk's innocence, insisting the case is built on circumstantial evidence rather than any definitive proof of involvement. Law enforcement sources, meanwhile, have refused to confirm or deny the validity of the leaks, an expected move in high-profile federal cases where prosecutors prefer to speak through court proceedings rather than media narratives. Regardless of the official silence, the damage may already be done in the court of public opinion. What once appeared to be a case built on speculative evidence now seems to involve a detailed, multi-layered investigation with a growing body of potential proof. Whether it holds up in court remains to be seen, but there's no denying these leaks have changed the way the public views the case, and possibly Lil Durk himself.
I don't necessarily think it's just beating a Fed case like that. I think there's going to be a difference where, 5 years, you'll survive that. 10 years, you'll survive that. An 80-year sentence plus life, you're not making it.
And it's not just the criminal charge. Participate in many of the activities that tip the violence extend far beyond just the immediate victims. In the case of the alleged murder-for-hire plots involving Durk, we see a cascading effect of tragedy, from King Von's death to the killing of Saviaya Robinson to the potential life imprisonment of Durk and his co-defendants. As we follow this case in the coming months, we'll likely learn more about the evidence against Durk and his co-defendants, the strategies of both the prosecution and defense, and the potential impact on the hip-hop industry as a whole. In the meantime, Durk remains locked up at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Los Angeles, awaiting his October trial. His album Deep Thoughts continues to stream on major platforms, and his fans remain active on social media, debating his innocence or guilt and speculating about his future. For real, these wiretap recordings have completely flipped the script on how we're viewing this whole situation. It's gone from maybe he did it, maybe he didn't, to the feds having receipts on receipts. And that's the thing about the federal system. They don't move until they're absolutely certain they can secure a conviction. That 90% conviction rate isn't just for show. It's because they build their cases meticulously before they ever take someone to court. We're seeing this pattern more and more in hip-hop, where artists who came up rapping about street life find themselves caught between the persona they've created and the real-world consequences of the lifestyle. But in Durk's case, if these allegations prove true, it goes beyond just talking about it in songs. It's about allegedly orchestrating actual violence and putting money behind it. What makes this case particularly sad is that Durk had really elevated himself to become one of the voices of Chicago. He had the platform, the talent, and the opportunity to break the cycle of violence that has claimed so many lives in his community. Instead, according to Forward toward the October trial date, we'll keep you updated on any new developments. Until then, we're led to wonder whether Durk's message about coming home stronger than ever is the confidence of an innocent man or the wishful thinking of someone facing overwhelming evidence. If you enjoyed this video, click on any of the ones showing on your screen to enjoy more.